So this is the Dave and Katie Show, episode 14. I may have said that wrong last time, but this time it's episode 14. Last time, the dark one, episode 13. This is episode 14. We're on our way up.
Yeah,
Episode
I
14
didn't.
of 100, starring Dave Shell with guest Katie Walker
No, no, you're not a guest. You're just not the main
character.
character of the show, but you are like your supporting role. You just don't get your name first.
And the best supporting actress.
Absolutely, I'd vote for you. Um, look, look,
David likes
I
you.
didn't like I didn't like the last one. Um, I I dang sure can't do 100 like that. Um, I tried watching it. I tried watching it. I watched all of them. I couldn't watch all of that. When one, I don't know if your copy was messed up, but like when I tried to watch it, I was just answering questions that from you and no, like you couldn't
I
hear
didn't
you.
want to tell you mid. I didn't want to tell you mid because we tried the New Riverside one versus this, and I didn't want to tell you that like 5 minutes in it said it stopped recording me. So I was like, yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
fine.
and the thing is, there's not going to be a do-over on that because
Right.
I didn't like it.
Well, yeah,
I,
talk
I
about a lot of personal experiences that really shaped your life where you are today.
Yeah, I get I get that, but you also one we had to talk about something that absolutely humiliated me going through that workman's comp process.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I mean it did. It
Sure.
humiliated me and
And don't you think,
um
Dave, people that go through symptoms of PTSD, they probably all have a phase of humiliation, and that's probably super common.
oh
It's
I would imagine
things
so,
you can't
yes.
control.
The problem is they're not sitting here putting it out there for the whole world to hear.
Right. I know, and that's why you're
I
the
yeah,
lone
but
wolf.
yeah, but it would be I mean I hate to say this, but it's so much easier for me not to do this.
You think? I mean,
I
that's the piece of it. That's why you have so much. I know you don't like it when I tell you you have power. Um,
I
but
don't
you
and I don't
leaders, Dave, are very isolating. But the reason it's the same way, Dave. When people ask me, they go, "Why are you so passionate about doing this stuff with mental health?" And they're like, "Oh, your brother died." Okay, that's why people think that I do this. Maybe it is. I don't know. But the
I
reason
mean
that
there's you got to acknowledge it played a role.
I'm sure it did. But
Yeah.
yours, all the stuff that you went through too also played a role with what you're doing right now because we both have felt the pain and the
Oh,
darkness to where now we're trying to make sure that other people don't feel that same either because you know this for a fact. I know this for a fact. People who have been through things like you and I have been through may not even be here today because it was too much on them and they've probably
it's
already taken their lives.
be the surest bet a person could ever make. Right there. There's I don't even want to I don't want to think about how many people's not here.
That's right. And that's
And
why
I don't want to think about how many people's not going to be here while we're doing this. Because it's not like everybody's going to pause and not harm themselves while we do this one.
right. I mean, that's we're
You,
it's a race against time, and that's why we're trying to expose some of these things because if we don't, and as you know, right, it's really hard to talk about. So most people don't talk about it, but we're trying to have exposure, transparency, and really show like this just didn't happen today. This is happening to police officers every day, first responders every day, EMS, EMT, paramedics every day. This is happening, and we're not providing our community protectors and our community healers the protection they need. and the support that they need in order to keep us safe.
They're not going to.
I'm sure they are.
No, 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 they're not. Hey, I told you I didn't want to be a negative Nancy today.
As you said
Um,
earlier, what did you say? Like, what am I smoking? Because you like my positivity?
Now I'm going to tell you, like, I don't think you or I, either one, could describe our bond and how our bond became our bond. I do know that I do play a part in your fight. Um, Personally for you, you're fighting for me on a personal level, not just as a client. I guess it's a client, right? A patient or a patient. Um, so, but the difference is, uh, I'm just getting too tired.
It's
Whereas
exhausting.
you find you have a gear I don't have anymore.
Well, and that's the piece of it, right? I understand that when people get tired, they get tired of fighting, and you have, right? You talk about tired of fighting all the time. Um, and you can understand it, right? When people get tired of fighting, but also when you're going through this and you know that there's people out there who aren't taking your role on right now, and if someone's not doing your role, then do others get lost? And that's kind of the way that I look at it when I get tired and I'm like, I just want to quit, go back to the hospital and just do anesthesia and make 4 times as much. Well, more than 4 times.
4 times.
Right.
I'd
Right.
probably.
8 times as much.
I'm trying to get you to buy me a hamburger, and I've resorted to going, okay, I'll buy it and pretend it's from you. Because I yeah, there's no question. Like people, they're not going to believe it, and I don't care because you can't change. You just can't
Well,
change
here's
people's
one thing, Dave.
minds.
One day we're
No,
gonna.
no, 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 no. Hold on. You can't change people's minds anymore. If people, for some reason, think you've got money coming out your ass, they're certified crazy.
Oh, me? It's probably just because I look so classy all the time.
Well, it's because you own a business. You own a business, and let's not sugarcoat it. It's not cheap to get treated there, but it's not because you don't want it to be cheap. It's because you're doing everything you can do to keep employees paid, not you, employees paid, so they can treat me, or they can treat John, or they can treat
So,
Jane,
so here,
or
so
they.
let's, so
Oh
let's give.
no, no, am I right? Am I right?
No, you're right, but let me give a cost
Oh, no,
comparison.
no, there's no but to it. That's the problem,
You're
Katie.
right,
Everybody
and
wants to put a but. Everybody wants to put a but to it. There's no but to it. At the end of the day, there's not one person out there in the state of Tennessee right now that has the authority and the power to make a change to keep me alive. They don't care. They don't. They can watch this and they don't care. That's what I can't understand. I can understand the person wanting to kill themselves. I can understand the person that killed themselves. I can understand the person thinking about it because that's to me is common sense to understand that. But it's even more common sense to understand that these people that have the potential to make a difference don't give a shit. I don't understand that. I don't understand how somebody can't value somebody's life.
I had a great conversation with a lady at Walgreens today, and she was
Tell
a
her I said hi, whoever she was.
she was a sweet little grandmother, and we had she asked me what I did, told her I worked in mental health, and she said she started talking about her grandchildren, and she said, I have tried to tell them only thing you need to do in life is never stop helping people. She said everything that you do should be something to where you're helping someone. If that's opening the door, if that's listening to someone, but something, because she said that's what makes the world go around, right? Is helping others. And it was great because think about it. How many people don't do that today? It's like, and
The
that's what we're seeing, Dave.
95% of
Oh
people.
yeah, because we're all so self-absorbed. We need more money. We need more for me. And we don't stop to think about others. Like we're building our own little private everything, right? And it's completely not the way life's intended to live. And but nobody talks about that. We value other people's success based on how much money they have or how much money people think they have or whatever else, like or how much they display they have. Um, but that's not life. That's what not life's not about.
No,
Life
no, that is life.
it is life currently, yes.
Yeah.
But
And
but
it's
the
not going to
impact,
change.
right? And I had somebody tell me the other day, Dave, and this is shoot, I guess this goes up your alley too, but they said they were jealous of me because what I'm doing is creating impact. And I was like, "You're jealous of me?" Like, I feel like I'm partially dying most of the time trying to stay alive doing all this garbage. But they said, you have to be brave in order to take the step to have impact on things greater than yourself.
I, I, I don't know how for this not to be negative, sound negative, but because I'm alive, so that's an impact. But I'm not the person that you being an impact on me has kept me alive, but it can't make that change. And the people that you have talked to that I've seen you talk to that could be an impact and help make a change, they lie.
Oh yeah, I'm
Well,
starting to
that's
get
what I'm
used.
saying, Katie. Well, let's
I'm
just
starting to
give
get
up.
used to a lot of that.
Let's give
No,
up and be like everybody else. It's the
no,
same thing. Let me put this in
they're
terms
weak
that
players, Dave. They may
oh,
have more
oh
money, they may
but they're
have more
players. They're
power,
the players.
but
I can't even get to the damn table to play. They're players.
just
Okay,
debated.
look, I'm going to put this in, I think, a great way to sum all this up with mental health. You remember, well, you may not remember because I'm old compared to you, but once upon a time, McDonald's, if you waited any amount of time at all in the drive-through, they'll give you like a free fry. And it's like, hey, thank you. You know what they're fixing to do now? They're going to stop giving the free refills. Like that's going to make me want to go to McDonald's then. You
Well,
know,
they're trying to save your life from microplastics.
I'm sorry, but what we do as a society, and this is why it's not going to change, Katie, is we get mad. We don't like it, but you know what? Over time, we accept it, and it gets to go right on through. And then all of a sudden, you don't think nothing about McDonald's not giving you a free refill. You know, you're still going to go get your quarter pounder. Well, you know
Well,
who does it? Who does it? Me, because I'm tired of that. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not going to make a difference. I know that. But you know what? I'm making a difference to me on that, and that's all that matters. I, I, I cannot. Where is common sense at that McDonald's thinks that by not giving a refill or free refill, that's going to help their business make more money?
oh no, yeah, no, I don't think they care about. I mean, like that. That's not a that they're probably. Did this come out recently?
Yeah.
So they're probably using RFK's stance on sodas being unhealthy, and they're
No,
going to
they're
use
not. They're
that
trying to
to
figure out how
manipulate
they
it to
can make
save money.
more.
Yeah, they're
They're
trying to save
making
their
more money.
bottom line
Hey,
because
hey,
McDonald's is not doing as well, Dave, as they once were.
well, you know why? Because they quit. They quit worrying about the customer. They
That's
quit
right.
worrying about you sitting in a drive through line for 15 minutes. And for a lot of people, that free fry may not have been no big deal. To
What about
me,
Chick-fil-A
that
trying to kill people?
to me that was excellent. Like the fact that you you had a rush and you couldn't help it, and now you've got to take a little bit longer to get that burger made or get fries made, and you're willing to give me like just a free pack of fries for it. And I know it didn't cost you that much. You're not out a lot of money, but the appreciation I got from it made me a loyal customer. You know, I'm a firm believer. If you get treated right, you continue to make sure and do business with that.
Yeah, sure. Now that's the thought process as of how it should be, but now that it's more so, well, I really
Yeah, bend
like
over
them,
and take it. Bend it
but
over and take it.
I'm
Because
going I'm going to take get the
not
best price because there's so
I
much competition out
okay,
there.
okay, first of all, every I think no Wendy's might be okay. Most restaurants there's no value menu anymore. When a value menu, when a cheeseburger at McDonald's is just a cheeseburger, you know, the little flattened cheeseburger is almost $3. That's not value. I mean, it's value if you compare it to Five Guys, but let me tell you what, I'm getting a lot more than a compressed burger at Five Guys. You know what I'm saying? So my whole point is though, Katie, at the end of the day, all these all these companies, all the government, the state, they rely on the fact that they know over time we'll just accept it. I'm going to bring this up. I don't want to get political because that's the
Let's get
worst thing in
political.
the world thing to do. But this Doge or whatever you want to call it, all this money that they cut, they're saving. Ah, I'm not kidding you. It's cost me money because I've had to pay higher prices. I'm not got a dollar back from that money they
Where's my
saved.
$5,000 return?
Where's the money? Where's that money going to? They've not said where it's going to. I mean, is that just a
Well, I don't know if there's
hypothetical
even money
savings?
there though, because there's no money.
Exactly. That's what I'm
It's
saying.
all monopoly money.
Exactly. So I present this question to you or anybody else that can answer. Why would I want to live?
Because you're waiting to see when
I
Doge
I, I
Mental
can't
Health
wait anymore.
accepts me to be the leader of Doge Mental Health, Katie Walker.
I don't want to be Doge anything. I
No,
just want to be
I would
Dave.
like to be
I just
Doge
want to be
Mental Health.
Dave.
I want to come in and we're going to start cutting everything. Commercial payers, we're going to go with Medicare, we're going big pharma. We'll just go straight through. That's what I'm
I
waiting for,
I
Dave.
I
Let's put those
I, I
energy vibes into the air.
you
Game
you
on.
you you know what I'm waiting on? I'm waiting on to see if somehow Kate can find somehow to get me my ADHD medicine
I
because
know it's
it
crazy. But let me tell you
it's
this, Dave. Let me tell you this. And this is I had a conversation yesterday with a lawyer.
Kim, one day, wait a minute, one day we're gonna pick a subject where I am the positive one and you're just like, no, no, let me tell you how that
I
really is.
was.
Cause
Remember that one episode? You were
oh, I
like,
like that
this is
episode,
more like
yes.
me. You like that one.
Yes.
I'm just done. I'm honestly, Dave, I've been through so
I
many
get
different
that. I
right.
know you're done.
But I'm
I've
not
seen
done.
a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot
Okay.
of stuff. You've got spit in your face, basically. I've seen all that. Um, but somehow you find a way to get up the next day. I'm tired of getting up, Katie.
You know, when I don't know if I told you when I used to get ejected out of games in high school.
Well, I mean, it's that, or you're just gonna like do something that look bad and cost your team a victory. Anyways, I don't blame you for getting kicked out. If you get kicked out, you can't be blamed for it.
I don't think they ever lost because I got kicked out. But maybe they did. I don't know. But anyway,
Is that when you was still in your Corvette too?
oh yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
know
I I mean, you talked about stealing a Corvette like that was just normal, common, everyday thing.
it. So here's my thing, Dave. When I go, I'm done. I'm not done in saying I'm walking
Oh
away.
no, 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 you're
I'm
not.
done in saying I'm tired of being what you want me to be. I'm tired of smiling. I'm tired of being professional. I'm tired of all of this stuff because I'm afraid that you're going to hurt me or come after me or manipulate my contracts or whatever else. I'm done. I'm done with it. The only thing that I have in my brain, Dave, which the believe it or not, the business world doesn't have, especially the insurance companies, is ethics. And ethics, I am very, very bound with ethics. You treat people the way that they're intended to be treated, and then you stand up for the role that you have accepted. And if you don't stand up for that role that you have accepted, then get out and go somewhere else. So, insurance companies, let's talk about this since I've been on my insurance kick this week. Insurance companies, Dave, are a public facing company. Their customers are the public. They should be, from an ethical stance, making decisions from their paying customers because those are the people that keep their business alive. People with insurance companies, not only do they not make decisions that are best for their customers, they breach fiduciary responsibilities and to where they are making decisions that benefit themselves personally. And you know what that means, Dave? That's actually a action that to where they could potentially serve time in jail for that because you
Why
can't do
not?
that. It's
Oh,
illegal. It's illegal,
please,
Dave.
please wake up. I need you to wake up because you know what? 100% you're correct. Here's the thing though. Those people are making bank. And you know what? They're making enough bank where they make sure the person above them that could maybe put them in jail is making bank.
Right. And I'm tired of that.
The
We're
thing
done.
is, listen, the
I'm
thing
gonna
is,
work for the pro what it's gonna be like a
it,
pro-life mafia. We're
it,
coming in
it,
hard.
listen, Katie, it's like this. It's like I said, you can pay a car insurance company for 20 years straight and not file a claim. You can file one claim and they can drop you. They're under no obligation at that point to keep you. They can drop you. It's the same. Listen, first of all, everybody that drives a car should have insurance to protect the person that they may hit. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm just getting by, which I am, if I'm getting by, okay. I'm not complaining about that, but um, if somebody hits my vehicle though and totals it, and I worked hard to get it paid off, um,
I understand that. I understand.
okay, but that's the way health insurance is.
No,
It's basically it's mandated. You got to carry health insurance because if you don't, the insurance companies and the collection agencies are gonna cause you to go crazy, calling you and threatening you and everything else. So you're gonna pay more for insurance that doesn't cover half of what you need it to cover
no, but here, this is why. Let me tell you why it's
because
wrong.
we accept it over time.
Yeah, well, or you talk to enough idiots, you just give up. I mean, fortunately, most of these people are
And
idiots.
that's what they're waiting on, Katie.
Sure, but it's just not gonna
You,
happen
but you don't,
unless
you
I
prove.
leave this world, and I'll come back and haunt them.
I don't care if there's 1,000. There's not 1,000 of you out there, but if there's 1,000 Katie's out there, you know what? It still wouldn't matter.
So
They
here's
because
Dave.
they
Listen to
got
this
time.
though.
They got time to wait you out, and they got the money to make you go broke trying
Do you
to
know
make a
what I was
difference.
told, Dave? I was told
You
that
was told by
insurance.
that lady today that you need to keep you, and I believe this. I believe in. I try to once a day, and I've sucked the last few days because of. I'm telling you, that last one put me in a dark place. Um, but I always try to make a difference to one person every day, just somehow. Whether it's to offer them to carry something
Who
for
taught
them,
you that?
or my mom did because that's how I was raised. I
Yeah.
was raised.
We don't raise
I
people. We raise people now to let their voice be heard and not to help others. And
would
so we
and not
become
have any
self
consequences.
well, we become
But social
self-absorbed,
media.
self-entitled, and then if you don't treat me the way I know I'm needed to be treated, then I'm just not gonna like you or I'm gonna cut you off. And it's like, what happened to just help each other? And then, takes a village to live
Well,
this
I'll
life.
tell you some of what happened when people have tried helping people. Something happened and they sued them. They got sued for helping.
That is true. I do think that our legal system, why I do have very many lawyers that I do love dearly. Our legal system is the most mess.
I'm assuming number one would be Crystal
Crystal
Jesse, a
Jesse.
sponsor of our show.
Thank you, Crystal.
Yes.
best lawyer
Yes,
in
yeah.
Tennessee.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Loves suing insurance companies, I hear.
I just know you, she's like you. I just don't want to piss either one of you off, to be honest with you.
We're just oh right. But I'm I was telling somebody the other day, I said, I'm done. Like I don't to a point, I've been judged so much all the way around. And
Sure.
it's like, and you get judged so much, so many different ways, and you're like, am I the common denominator in all this? And then you start seeing a pattern happen. And then you get to the point to where it's just like, F this, I'm done. And you know what? If they want to play, game on. Let's go. And
Okay,
that's where
and
I'm
it
at
takes,
right now.
but it takes a very strong mind to do that. I'm the biggest liar to myself there ever was because I'll sit here and I'll tell you all day, I don't care what other people think. And I don't, but my mind will sit there and eventually it'll go, I, I don't think that they are judging me. Like, they're not trying to find out. And
Dave.
it downfalls me. It's the same thing. I don't like texting people
Mhm.
because if they don't text other than you and Crystal, and
Thank
I
you.
know what to expect with you two, I think I've made them. I've done something to offend them, and I start to worry. And it's no, they have a life because I take it to the extreme. When I hear a text go off, I think I got to answer it right then. Stop what I'm doing and answer it so they know I'm not ignoring them or mad or something. Um, I hate that. I
I
hate that
think,
about
I
me.
think, I think, Dave, knowing, especially when you're talking about the heaviness of last week, I
Oh, it's
think,
terrible.
I
I
think,
was so mad at you. I was mad at you. And I'm glad now I can say it that I was mad at you. I know I know if there I hope and pray there was more good came out of that than where it put me at. You
so
know,
now we're 1-1.
I
We're
do.
what we're even because when you got to your worst and you wanted me and you to be on camera in your officer uniform,
And
I
you
was
didn't want.
uncomfortable. And
Oh,
now
yeah.
last week, so now we're even.
But I'll be honest with you, okay? You let me ask you, I honestly wouldn't have necessarily thought that that would have happened.
Oh,
Because
I do.
you and I have talked. I'm
Well, we have, but the issue, right? The issue is I asked you questions that put you in a very vulnerable space.
and it put it,
That's that
you know,
anytime if you sat here and you started asking me about domestic violence situations and you made me pull up some of those memories, it's going to take these barriers that I have that I've created of my quote unquote resilience, and it's going to bring up a lot of those previous times that are going to make me feel vulnerable or kind of feel out of state of control to where some of those things I've not processed in a while may come up, and there may be some, details of it that I've not thought about in a long time. So it kind of puts you in a state to where what's it called? It's called a like procedural memories. So it's almost like we open Pandora's box a little bit, and always with any type of trauma or heaviness from the past, anytime we open up Pandora's box and thinking about the past, that can be very, very heavy. And that's why like EMDR, Dave, that people do for trauma, so a lot of them can't do it because you're opening Pandora's box. And that's why ketamine and psychedelics are so good, because they help to protect the brain from that emotional connection that you feel from those memories. Kind of puts a little barrier there, so you're able to process a lot of that garbage without feeling it. So
okay. Oh, okay.
now, do I think it was
Well,
worth that podcast to talk about those details so we could get those
oh,
things so we can push
oh,
forward?
absolutely you do. Absolutely,
Right.
because you wouldn't have done it otherwise.
Right.
Like I didn't take it. I don't take that personal at all. I think I
You hate
got.
me non-personally.
No, I think I got mad and
Oh,
angry
Matt,
and stuff
sorry.
because, to be honest with you, what got me to where I'm at today is exactly what I did with that whole workman's comp thing. I buried it and I had no intentions of ever thinking about that again to the detail that you and I went through. I could not respect myself ever to put somebody through what they put me through when they knew what the answer was. And
You work.
I don't know how a person, I don't know who those people were, the investigators. I don't know, I don't care who they were. I, the fact that they were able to do that job, knowing, watching me cry in front of them because it was killing me, having to talk about that, and they already knew what the end result was. F you, F you.
Is that local or state?
It was state.
Yeah.
It,
Well,
it, it, you should, no one should ever treat somebody that way. And listen, I've dealt with evil.
well, and that
I've
and, that,
dealt
and
with
that's not
evil, and to me, that they're right there with it. I would not sell my soul on a job in order to do that. I'm not. I,
right.
I mean, I put them right there with all these freaking spam calls you get every day, or you get the text going that you're gonna get in trouble because you went through a toll and didn't pay it, and you've never even been in that state.
That's a
You
big scam, you know.
well, workman's comp's a scam, and
Oh,
it's being run by the state of Tennessee.
is
And
there
you know what?
certain?
It's legal. That's legal though. The scam of sending me a text about a toll I haven't paid, that's illegal. But the state of Tennessee can turn around and scam your ass, and it's perfectly fine.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, and that's why we've got. That's why there's people out there, Dave.
No, there's not.
There are too.
No, absolutely not.
There's people out
No,
there
they're not.
that
You
are
would have already
intending
met them.
to
You already
make
would
a
have met them.
difference.
No, you would have already met them.
Nope, not yet.
The people that can make a difference, if they wanted to make a difference, you would have already met them, Katie. I
No,
know
I
that
meet them all the time,
100%.
Dave, and I
Katie,
burn them out or I break them.
Katie, how long have you been doing this?
Over 7 years.
Okay, I think that's reasonable amount of time
Over
for that
7.
to have
Well, you
of
know what? Actually,
even. Hey, let me ask you, anything that you have presented factual to these people, have they ever taken it and put it before a House or a Senate or a
no, because I
governor?
don't have that power yet. I got to get more power.
That's what I'm saying. If the people in power wanted to do something, you would have already met them.
No. You know why,
Yes.
Dave? Because I'm 41 years old, and a lot of these
And
people
you're
don't
looking
actually.
at, by the way, just throwing that out there. You talked about my beard. I don't forget that. I don't forget that.
So,
I
but
mean, if
a lot of people that start these things that I've been doing for 7 years are actually a lot older than I am when they start. Walmart, Sam
I don't,
Walton,
I don't
Walmart,
care.
44 years old when he
I,
started, Dave.
I don't care. What I'm
We're going to
telling
make the
you,
Walmart mental health.
I do
Everybody's
not
accepted
care.
and it's cheap.
I I need you to understand what I'm saying, and it's right that 7 years in
Did I
7
tell
years
you that
time
I was a
where you
state
put
champion?
yourself out there every day at least for the last 4 years nonstop, you would have met that person. That person would have wanted to meet you.
Time's not right.
Uh,
I have to
well, you
write a
know
book.
what,
I have to
Katie?
write a book, make a scale, open clinics, open a lab.
Time is the one thing I don't have.
Well, that's why
That's
we're running fast, so you can stop
no,
complaining.
you've ran fast enough. It's not on you, Katie. It's not
It is.
anymore. No, it's not. That's what you need to understand. It's not on you. It is not on you. You
If
have
it's
put it out there. You have shown, you have proven all this stuff. And you know what it's done? Nothing to the people that can make a difference.
not yet.
Until somebody's son or daughter has something happen like it did with me, and they have to deal with it on a daily basis. They have to listen to their son or their daughter not even be able to be understood when they're talking, to not to look at you and go, I can't walk out of my room today. And they go, why? And you go, how would I know? If I knew that, I would try to change that. You, until that happens, nothing's changing.
Well, I mean, maybe we can change the Dave and Katie show to
No,
pessimist
you need to put
Davy
somebody
versus
on here that's
optimist Katie.
positive. You need to put somebody on here in my place that's positive. And the thing is, I cannot be any more grateful for what ketamine did for me. And the fact that you opened a clinic that
I'm just scratching the surface. Did you ever see
EM.
the iceberg that took down the Titanic, Dave? I'm just this piece at the very,
Let
very
me ask you
top.
this.
I'm
Have
just
you
getting
ever
started
thought,
in the water.
have you ever thought I was a person that had patience? I mean, honestly, do you think I have patience?
I do.
No. Am I black? Have I had to
You've
change from
encouraged
being a
people to
black and
tell
white
me
person?
no when I'm trying to unfortunately try to break them, unconsciously trying to break them. So you do have patience for people because you're
No,
looking out
no,
for them.
no, no. I do. I do for people, not for me. I don't have the patience. When I tell you I'm out of time, I'm out of time. I'm not lying to you. I'm out of time. Um, I, I've had the hope. I've had the false sense of it's going to change. I don't I don't have to be back where I was before all this happened, but because there was something wrong with me to begin with. I have become a kinder person overall. I have become a more caring person, but that's that's not enough to keep me here. It's not, because you know what? Caring about people and being kind to people takes work. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not natural to me. And at the end of the day, nobody asks for anything that happens to them. Okay, no, nobody does. But you and I got in an argument of this. The fact that I have an illness, it's an illness that isn't recognized. It's not. It's not, and it kills just as fast and as senseless as all these other diseases do.
Mhm.
I begged you, I begged you to figure out what part of my brain's doing that, and take a hammer and smash it or cut it out, just so I'd quit thinking about it. Uh, because I don't at this point know anything that's going to completely stop it. And as I've told you, I don't care what you do for me. I don't care if you give it to me free or if you get it to me for half price or if you charge me double. It costs you to do that, except the double. If you double my price, you're probably actually making a little money at that point. But otherwise, it's a negative reaction. It's a negative consequences to somebody else. In this case, Revitalists, the company. If they have pity on me, and I'm not going to bring up all the bullcrap stuff that you used as an excuse to help me out, and told it to me like I'm going to believe that you have to do something and like the one time you said you had to compensate me for talking about revive. Give me
That's
a
right.
friggin' break. No,
That's
that's not
right.
right.
It is
No,
right.
that's not right. And
It's the barter law.
the thing is, I appreciated it 1,000%. But I mean, come on. I mean, I had all the guilt of knowing that you were so full of crap and lying to me, trying to help me. I want to get a treatment one time, and I don't want to have to sacrifice stuff in order to save up the money, and I don't want you to have to make an excuse. I want to be able to go get it and it not
That's
be
right.
stressful.
April 23rd is my first insurance fight. You know what
Okay,
we're gonna do? This is what we're gonna do,
so
Dave.
let's put that on the calendar, and then for every year until you're not here anymore, you mark it every year on that date that still not changed, still not changed, still not changed. First of all, I want you to fight. I don't get why I don't get how you do every day. I get why you do it for people like me. And you've met a lot of people like me that are just normal everyday workers. You know, they weren't in a first responder. Um, they were just a factory worker or a stay at home parent or whatever. You've met those people that are the same as me right now that are going through the same thing. Um, I want you fighting for them. Um, I don't want you to give up. I just, what little sound mind I have left, I just don't understand how you don't give up.
Well,
And I
good,
see
right?
the toll on your body and mind from it.
Because the light always wins, Dave. Weren't you taught that?
No, 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 it doesn't.
Weren't you taught that?
I was taught a lot of things that were full of crap.
Well, I'm still going with it that the light always wins.
Let me ask you this.
Did I ever tell you that I won the state championship? I'm a
You've
state
told me you,
champion.
I'm sorry, you bragged about a lot of things that
I
you
was
think.
the I
I've
was
not
the
seen it.
number one. I had the highest batting average in the entire state of 441, Dave, when we played 53 games in a year. Did I tell you that?
Did I tell you that my basketball team in the eighth grade went 30-2 and won the Northside Championship, the county championship? We dominated. Did I tell? No, I didn't tell you that. You know why? I don't know why I didn't actually. But
You want to see a
I,
Great Dane in action? See her behind me.
I, you're Great Danes. Well, did you go to a breeder and buy those Great Danes?
Oh,
Did you
oh,
go to a breeder?
they're so pretty.
Did you go to a breeder and buy those Great Danes?
You know, Dave, that all my Great
You
Danes are rescued.
are rescued. Exactly. Exactly. Because
Not are they rescues?
your
They were
mentality,
they were
your
aggressive
your
rescues.
mentality. Oh, I remember you talking about Max when you brought him back. He's sitting in the back growling, and I don't know people until they see Max in person, they don't realize he's a horse.
He's a monster.
Yeah, and he
Well,
crowds
you're
you
right.
when
I
he
like to
crowds you
rescue.
sleeping. You try
I
to
like
help.
I like to rescue things.
Yeah, yeah. And
So do
let's just
you. You're
say,
a police officer.
hey, no, I'm not a police officer.
Yep.
No, I'm not.
You are
No, I'm not.
by you're
No,
a public servant.
they took that away. They they took away my opportunity to maybe still be one because the city Greenville couldn't do any more than they done. They created a position to try to keep me working and get me to that retirement.
And you're right. They did everything that they could do because
I couldn't do it.
and
I
they
couldn't
created a
do
lot
it.
of things for you.
And I couldn't, they couldn't pay me for not working. That's what workman's comp's for, is because of an injury while you were working. And what's this? And I don't want to live in it. I love the state of Tennessee. I just don't, I'm, 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 I'm sick of how it's being ran. And I'm sick of the fact that somebody who evidently was smart enough to be elected governor has no common sense or doesn't give a flying flipper. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? We're gonna elect, probably the next one we elect's gonna be the same way.
Well, and I think that's a piece
No,
of
I want to hear you're not wrong. That's all I want to hear.
I do too. I say you're not wrong or I say valid. Those are my two go-tos. No, but I think we're at a time of change. And honestly, as much as people, as much as people don't care for Elon and everything that he's doing, you know what he's showing? He's showing that he's made more money than anybody's ever made. And he's showing that it's the impact on people, on trying to help people that truly matters. And that's where our power and love comes from. That's where we get it back into the communities. And we've got to start teaching ourselves that again. And until we can teach ourselves that, we're just going to be self-absorbed, getting the most degrees, getting the most money, buying the most things. And these are all materials. And you know what happens when we die, Dave? It's the ultimate equalizer. Person who has dollars worth the same person who has 100 billion.
I'm sorry, you lost me when you said something about Elon Musk. I toned you out. He
Blackout.
might be, he might be a decent person, but I know what he's done since he acquired Twitter and how toxic it is now, and the fact that no longer is it a violation to call people the F word or anything from a homophobic standpoint or to call them the N word. I mean, that's okay. It's all right now because that's freedom of
They
speech.
do that
No,
on
it's
Twitter?
not. It's not all right. It's disrespectful. You have no right to talk to somebody that way. You can believe it all you want to. That's your belief. That's not my belief. Okay, that's your belief. But I'll be damned if it's right for you to be able to say it in front of my face and not have consequences.
Yeah, it's a pendulum
That's
shift, right?
Elon Musk to me. That's Elon Musk to me doing that. And then doing this Doge thing, saving millions of dollars. And it's monopoly money, like you said, because um
I mean, it'll
I
still make
haven't
everybody
seen
go broke.
I haven't seen where they've that millions of dollars they saved, where they put it at. Is it gone into a bank account to pay them more money? Has it gone to school systems to help children get a fair education, whether they are in a rural county or they're going to a
I don't
private
think there's
school?
any money to go anywhere. The
Then
money's not,
you're not
they're just
saving any money.
they're just cutting it. They're cutting it down. It's the same way as if say if the
No, that's
clinic
saving money. If you're cutting it down, that means that money is there,
it
but you just
does, but
decided not to spend it
say if
there.
my clinic, say if the clinics are bringing in 100,000, but we're spending 500,000.
Hmm.
Well, if we have to go out, we need to cut until we are spending as much as we're bringing in, right?
Okay, so,
So
but
therefore,
who,
the 400 is not going anywhere. It doesn't exist.
sure,
You have to
right,
cut those things
but do
out.
you have to show where it's at? Do you have to show
No, you can
that,
show that you're cutting it, right? That's your
uh,
adjustments.
oh, okay,
There's no money
so,
there to pay it. It doesn't exist. We're just spending that
well,
much.
how, oh, okay, but when you're the government and
If
you
you
just,
make money and there's no
and you
goal
print
behind
money,
it,
and you
sure, they
print
can print
money,
it, but
yeah, and that's what we've been doing. So it's you're not saving any money. You're just not going to be printing money that we shouldn't be printing to begin with. But that's not saving money.
right.
Okay, that's not. And turn it a different way so that that I understand
I
it.
hear what you're
But
saying.
right now, if you're
Right now, they're just
saving,
cutting. They're not.
if you fired 150 people from, let's say, the Department of Energy, and that's saving the taxpayers money. Tell me if that's truly money. Tell me where you put it at. Did you put it in education? Did you put it in health? Where
Right.
did you put it at?
That well
Otherwise,
now where they did
all I know
say
is you're rich, getting richer, and people like me are. It's still costing me more money every year.
right. You're not wrong. None of it makes sense. But I'm just right now
That's why I say, Katie, I need somebody to explain to me
where they're
why you
getting
want to live in this
if
world.
they're doing all these cuts, where are they getting the 5,000 that they want to give to, or that they talked about giving to citizens or whatever? And
I
I
didn't
think
even hear
that'd be
anything about
amazing.
that. Oh, I would love to be given $5,000 just to help, like put that in savings in case a heat pump goes out in 2 years. I
Yeah.
would love to have that and not had to work three jobs to get it. But you know what? That's not going to happen.
And for it
And,
to be tax free.
and if it does happen, I'll be honest with you, people's going to get it that they don't deserve it.
Oh, sure. People are going to get it and they're just going to go blow it. But you know what? If they blow it into the US economy, it's going to help the economy.
Oh, no, it's not.
The stimulus.
No, it wouldn't because let's say everybody in the country got $5,000 and we all went to Best Buy and we all bought a TV. Is Best Buy gonna drop the prices of those TVs? Absolutely not. They're gonna pocket that money and they're still gonna charge you the same freaking price or more next year. So no, it's not
Or if they
stimulating
get
the
five thousand
economy.
dollars and
It's
they come
getting
to
people
Revitalists,
richer.
but
It's getting people richer.
if they get $5,000 and they come to Revitalists and they get treatment, we're improving the mental health of our community.
Let me
Maybe that's
let,
what they should do. Give people $5,000 and say it has to be spent on one of these things.
look, but listen. Here's the thing about it. You you give me $5,000 and tell me, um, I got to spend it at Revivalist. Well, that's not hard for me to do because I do require a booster. I'm not. I know so many people that have went through these treatments, and if they've had to have a booster, it's been like one in a couple of years. It has pretty much given them their life back. I'm unfortunately that stubborn ass dumb person that says no, I don't want this to make me feel better for 10 years. Screw it. I'm gonna let it work
Oh,
for
but
4 months.
PTSD, Dave.
I'm gonna let it work for 4 months, and then I'm gonna say, you know what? There's something bad going on right over here, and I'm gonna start stuttering. I'm gonna do everything else. But the thing is, Katie, you give me that $5,000, and for how many ever treatments that helps me, I'm at peace. I don't have to worry about how did Katie help me? Did she give it to me? Did she, she lied to me to get me that
Well, and
treatment,
that's the crap of it,
or
right?
I'm working I'm going to Charleston, South Carolina to work for 3 days, and I only eat once a day because I'm trying to save as much money out of my per diem as I can to pay for this next booster. It just it probably should have been done 2 days ago. But the problem is when that $5,000 runs out, it's
Right.
going to put me
Well,
in a
but that's
worse
why insurance
place.
companies should be paying for things that actually
It's
work.
right because it's going to put me in a worse place because then I know how I can feel and I know how I'm feeling now, and I don't have the money anymore to get back up to how I should feel.
Right, but it gives us more time for me to push the insurance company.
Let's be honest. $5,000 in anything medical ain't going very long.
No, it's not. But that's the piece, right? We shouldn't have to choose if you're trying to get help for your mental health on something that actually works. It should be covered by things that you're already paying for your mental health.
No, they would rather be able for me to very easily every 30 days get a 30-day supply of Xanax to use um to numb my brain for 2.5, 3 hours every day on a very addictive drug, a drug that um, is easily attainable, unlike ketamine. Ketamine, I mean, I know I know it's out there on the street, but not like Xanax. Because I can get Xanax 30 pills every 30 days. I can't get ketamine. I can't go to the pharmacy and get it. I can't get a prescription for it. You know, I can't get addicted to the ketamine that I do in these boosters or the treatments when I had them because one, it's controlled. Two, it's not enough to get me addicted. And three, I damn well don't want to be addicted to it. If I wanted to be addicted, I would have got addicted. I would have been an alcoholic and drank this shit away.
I know. It's hard. It's hard and it
It
sucks.
you know, I'm just glad you acknowledge it's hard. You know,
Well, that's the whole
no,
reason we're doing this, right? I mean, because we
yeah,
know
but
how hard it is, and we know not everyone is able to show up like you and I are able to show up because it's hard and it sucks.
listen, I'm gonna be the first. It's pathetic on my part, but I promise you, if I could change it, I would change it, and I would. I I don't want to be a mental health advocate. I don't because every day that I'm a mental health advocate, it's one day less day on my life because of the pain. It is. I that is selfish. I know that, but I'm telling you, I would not wish. I'm telling you, I mean, I have a great job. I have a nice house. I have a nice vehicle. Um, I'm not in bad shape. In the visual monetary sense. Um, but I I would give I would give up $100 for $2 to not think like this every day. Not no not be not be no not be who I am. I'm not wrong. That's a natural thought process.
Well, right. But I would also say that people, what you just said, that's people every day. That's like 1 in 5 people right now. 20% of the population at a minimum is feeling exactly the same way you are right now.
Oh, I know that.
And
I
if they
know
don't
that.
have
And
us and they don't have your complaints, it's good when you complain because you're validating the way that they feel that they may not even be able to verbalize it yet, Dave, because they've not had an amazing optimist like myself around.
you but the difference is you you get you every day you fight takes a little bit out of you,
No,
right?
it grows
No,
me.
no, but
It makes me stronger, Dave.
it's very
You know
tiresome
that's
though.
true. You know I'm stronger now than I was 7 years ago.
I do. You're right. Okay, let me rephrase that. Every day that I talk about this takes a toll on me. It does.
Sure.
It does. I because and I'm sure like if there's 10 people that watch this, 9 of them are going, there ain't no way they're being serious right now. This is serious talk for me and you. I can talk to you all day about this when you and I are sitting somewhere and you tell me to F off or something when I make a comment like that.
Kindly. It's
You
a kind comment.
sure no, it's you being it's you not it's you not cuddling me. It's you not you acknowledge my struggle, but you're all saying, put your big boy pants on. We can get through this. You just can't be a wuss,
And I
okay?
think,
Because it's easy to feel sorry for yourself. But I'm
yeah,
telling
those,
you, I can talk to you all day about this when it's you and I know that I don't have to. I can speak freely. Okay,
yeah.
I can say a bad word if I need to without going, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I can do whatever, but when you put it to where it's going to be seen by somebody, it takes a toll on me because
Well, stop
I try to
watching.
be truth I try to be truthful, but I try to I ain't doing a good job here lately, but I try to be very positive about it because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for ketamine. I'm and anybody who thinks otherwise, I'm sorry, but you need to face reality. It's the freaking truth. And I told you, and I told you it is nowhere should it ever be normal for me to want to think about harming myself. That should that should never thought and should
That's with
never have
everybody.
entered my mind. Okay, but it entered it. But not only did it enter it every day, it becomes more of a reality. And it's because somebody somewhere that has the potential, the power to help people like me, they don't care. They'll never know me. I could harm myself in front of their house and I would be sprayed off, washed, clean, cleansed, bleached, and they would go about their same way of thinking the following day.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and that's my thing. So two things here that I think you have to learn. One, I think you recognize it. One is when you start feeling sorry for yourself, that's what you have to stop. Like you
Hmm.
have to be very intentional of no,
Absolutely.
I'm not, because that can create a very negative path very, very quickly.
I do that. The thing is, I I would imagine I do it 150 times a day. You know, I think everybody has to do that as far as that goes. I just it seems like with the mental health side of the you take it to the extreme. You don't know how not to take it to the extreme. If you think about feeling sorry for yourself one time today, you're going to make sure you do it 200 times without even realizing it.
Well, when you start going down that path, that's what the brain gets used to. But then two, the other big thing, Dave, when you say I'm tired,
I
you
am.
you gotta learn how to breathe. And I'm not saying breathing techniques.
I I
I'm
know you're
saying
saying the same way I breathe when I say I was
that's
able
right.
to breathe
That's right.
when I come out of that ketamine
You have
treatment.
to
But here's the
find that.
problem, Katie. Right now, that's the only thing that allows me to breathe because it does something up here that I will never be smart enough to understand, but it temporarily fixes it for me. Unfortunately, it's not done like it has done for a lot of people I know where it's somehow fixed it for
Well, and that's
pretty
right. But that,
pretty pretty good.
but the thing with PTSD, right, is it's where it changes the way that we store memories and it causes like an emotional response. So people who have PTSD, they need treatments possibly more often because their system is getting re-triggered and re-triggered and re-triggered. And that's what you feel, and that's what you get tired of. You just wish you had some peace.
I
And that's what
do,
we're
and
working on.
I wish it was acknowledged. The federal government acknowledges it with the military, and they help.
That's right.
They give them some kind of help. I'm not saying it's the best help, but they give them something. Why keep the federal government just say, okay, we acknowledge it with our military troops. You know what? We're going to make every state just acknowledge it for individual people, not for law enforcement, firefighters, military. We're going to acknowledge it for people. You're going to be required to acknowledge it, and you're going to
100%.
be
And we're going to
required to
do that. And
fund
we're
it.
getting there. You know why, Dave? Because it's real and we can prove it.
Wait a
We've
minute.
got to show
Wait a
these
minute.
people it's real
Whoa,
and
whoa,
we can
whoa, whoa,
prove
whoa,
it.
wait a minute. Wait, it's already been proven. The federal government's doing it for the military services. They've acknowledged that
You're not wrong.
this is a issue.
You're
This
not
this
wrong.
has caused people to lose their life because we didn't help them. So they've acknowledged it with that one entity. Where's the common sense to tell you if it's in that one entity, it's in the entire country? Let's take care of the entire country, not just one entity. Where's it at, Katie? It's
You're
not there and it's never going to be there.
it is going to be there because now
Mm-mm,
people believe hold on, Miss
mm-mm.
Negative. People used to think unless you had a physical injury, you couldn't have PTSD. Exactly the way the state
Well, the
law is
government
written
said that the government
in
reviewed that.
Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee don't give a shit. That's what I'm
people,
saying. The government, the president of the United States, he could change that because it got changed. It got changed with the military. It wasn't always that way. It wasn't even close to being that way. But you know what? Instead of changing it for everybody, they just pacified one group to get a nation off of them. They don't until another nation comes together as a group and says we're not taking it anymore. They're not changing it, Katie. And you know what? There's too many sectors, groups, whatever, fighting individual instead of fighting as one cohesive unit.
you're not wrong, but you're right. I
What
want
was that? What was those last two words there?
to. There's your
Uh,
optimism for the day to make it to
you're
episode
right.
15. You're right. You're right on saying it's not always been that way, and the federal government accepted it for PTSD.
With us with one entity.
With no,
That's it.
I hear you, but I don't know. You're right. I don't know when that changed.
It's the
Um,
same thing as say Tennessee saying workman's comp can now be filed from a firefighter standpoint, but not from an EMS standpoint
that's
or a
just
law
retarded,
enforcement
right?
standpoint.
That was
There's no
January.
difference.
There's no difference. I
There
know.
is no difference. There's no difference.
I
I'm
know.
winning this battle today. I think I've won today.
You have you
I
actually you made an excellent point in the whole veteran piece because you do typically once federal acknowledges it, then you can get the states to adopt it much more specifically. But that's
Yeah,
a really good
we're asked
argument
back.
you
You know, we're
said.
asked backwards. The states are saying, you know what? We find medicinal purposes are valid with marijuana. So we don't care that you say federally it's illegal. We're gonna make it legal in the state of California, the state of Maryland, or whatever. They've said, screw you, government. We understand, you know, and the people that partake in medical marijuana or recreational marijuana, that it's still illegal on a federal level. And if you cross from Virginia to the state of Tennessee, you could be charged with that. Little itty bitty bag of weed that you're using to calm your nerves down. The state of Tennessee says you're charged, it's illegal. But Virginia says, you know what, government? No, it's not illegal in this state. Why can't they why can't Tennessee, why can't Virginia, why can't Maryland, why can't California go, you
Because
know
you're not
what?
giving them the good enough argument to get the crowd to accept it. You got to be able to argue it and you got to get those people's engagement.
Who argued it for the federal government?
That's what I'm looking at right now.
On military. I can
Well,
tell
I'm
you a
looking
lot
at
of them
this.
did. Lawmakers, your local
He
representatives.
said it was a
You know
group
what our
since
local
1980.
representatives in Tennessee do? They put money in their pocket. That's what they do. They put money in their pocket. They oh, I have an open door policy. Come in and tell me about your issues. You come in and tell them, and you know what they do? They go home at night and they just relax because they're not worried about that. As long as they get reelected, that's all that matters. They're going to do
Yeah.
enough to get reelected, but that's all they're going to do because you know why? They don't want to piss off the other representatives to where they make them look bad and they get beat the next time.
So this is interesting. PTSD um, became a diagnosis in 1980 and was directly related to anxiety. And it wasn't until 2013 that PTSD became a new category with trauma and stress related disorders. So they didn't even connect PTSD to trauma or stress until 2013.
I don't get the trauma thing. I mean, people that have fought in wars that, I mean, what are you saying? They got PTSD from everything but that war they fought in? That trauma?
I think they're trying to say they
You,
had anxiety about going back.
who wouldn't have anxiety about even you take being an 18-year-old male back in 1960 some 68 60 whenever and knowing that it didn't matter what you wanted to do with your life that you were more than likely getting drafted and going to Vietnam.
Oh yeah, can
And
you
the odds
imagine?
of survival weren't very good. You know, imagine those people. I can't imagine what my dad. I can't.
Yeah,
You
my
know,
dad
and
got drafted.
I unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to talk about it with him. You know, he, but that's what I'm saying. That all this stuff just shows you that somebody somewhere didn't have any common sense when they did this. Because it's just like when they wrote that thing, that law, whatever you want to call it, on firefighters in the state of Tennessee, not one damn person had enough sense to open their eyes up a little
You're
bit
not
wider
wrong.
and
You're not
realize that
wrong.
it's affecting EMS personnel, it's affecting law enforcement, it's affecting public servers that see evil.
Mhm.
And it, yes, I understand some of it is just an inherent risk of your job. That part I was fine with. That's the broken leg or being shot or being stabbed. I was prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for something that was never talked about. And that's letting the daily grind of seeing death, senseless death, start to weigh on you. And for some reason, my brain, um, I couldn't handle it. There's a lot of people that can. I just wasn't one of them. But you know what? I'm pretty sure there's more people that can't in that job than what can. And you know what? They got two choices: find a way to make it to the next day and do that job, and that job not be done as well as it should be, because you can't do it if you're suffering mentally. You cannot do your job the way you should do it. Or you have to walk away like I did. And that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever had to do, is walk away from a job that I from a physical appearance was perfectly fine. And I don't think if it, here's the thing about it. I don't think if they would have gave me workman's comp, I do not think that I would have been, I'm not better now. I am getting better. I'm, I'm hoping and praying that it, sometime in the next year, I make a huge jump. But I'm not foolish to think that if I'd got workman's comp, I'd had time to get better. My God, I can't stay on workman's comp for 10 years. I'm not crazy, but I'm saying give me a year. I'm seeking help. I'm going to a therapist. I'm getting some kind of treatment. You may not like it, but we can easily prove it was helping. Give me a chance there before you throw me out into the world with no job, can't even be understood talking wise. Give me a chance to at least try to save up a little bit or just find some way to maybe make it easier when I have to transition. We get outraged at people getting evicted for no cause, basically. Just boom, you're out the door. I'm gonna raise the rent up next month. We feel sorry for them. We try to help them. Where's these people at that tried to keep me from walking out the door? Greenville did all they could do, but you can't. There, there's not. I don't think there's any municipality, county, or anything that is wealthy enough that just makes so much friggin' money off taxpayers that they can afford to pay somebody not to work for a year while they try to get better so they can work. They got to cut their losses. I don't blame them. It wasn't up to them. It should have been up to the state that has a workman's comp set up for injuries, because you said it perfectly. If I'd have been working in a factory and I'd have had this happen, they would have acknowledged it and they would have gave me time.
Well, and what you're bringing to attention, I'm not gonna say complaining, um, is that it's not been created yet. And we have very reasonable evidence to show why it should be created.
I'm
And that's
sorry
what we're going to do.
if I was the first person that this happened to, I might believe that. I might understand why it hadn't been created. I am probably 2 to 3 million down that list on people that are like me right now that went through this. You
Yeah,
know,
but
I'm not a trailblazer.
you are.
I am one person in a long line of people that either are
Greenville never
finding a
saw
way
anybody like you in your situation.
or listen, I'm one person out of all these people that's still trying to find a way either to live and make it to the next day or do like so many other people have done and not know what's on the other side, but just know what they don't want to be on this side anymore. You know, there's no in between, Katie. There's not. This disease that doesn't get the recognition it should get doesn't it takes no prisoners. It takes no prisoners.
Yeah, no, I hear that. But I
And
also,
it doesn't discriminate. It don't care if you make $1 million a year or you're on welfare. It don't care. It care less. It will get both of you in a heartbeat.
yep.
It's
And
a
that's what we
hidden
have to
killer.
prove. We know it's real. Now we just
What do
have
you
to
have to
prove it.
prove? What all you gotta
There's a
do is
lot to prove.
what?
There's a lot to prove. All right,
What?
listen.
What?
See this
I
dog right
give.
here?
I know they need your attention, and
No,
I
she
know
needs to
that.
eat.
I need you to give me a good reason. Give me a good example of what they got to prove. What's got to be proven?
It all has to be proven on paper and it has to be presented as to why. That's
I can
not been
lie.
done, Dave.
You can look me in the eyes and tell I'm telling the truth. I can write it on paper, and it could be the biggest lie in the world. You'll never know it. Give me a break. When are they going to start just listening to people? When are they going to look and say, okay, for the last 6 years, he's talked about this. This not young anymore, but this man's going to die if we don't help him. When somebody besides Katie and Kate and all, when somebody that doesn't know me or hasn't known me for quite a while, take that stance to help me. Hmm? When?
No, I agree. And I
But
that
and I'm not the first one. That's what I'm getting back to. It's uh, 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 let me ask you this. Somebody that works on your farm, okay, they work their ass off every day. You know, if you holler at them, say, "Hey, can you go over and get that last stall? I know you've done 60 today, but can you clean out that one last stall?" Is he less valuable than the person that you got doing your books because he went to college and got an education?
you're right.
But
We
yet
value people based on their class.
we've fought this battle forever that just because you have an education doesn't mean you're a better worker than this person that graduated high school or didn't graduate high school. It's all about work ethic. It yes, there are some jobs that you know it wouldn't matter if they had education. They are smart enough to do the job. Okay, that's why you hire them. They may have that educational background, but that means nothing. They were born to do that job. They have the smarts to do that job. I say I I consider being a police officer. I was born to be one. I just don't have any damn sense because if I did, I probably would have maybe looked somewhere else.
But what everything that you say makes sense.
But that's it. That's it. That's all you gotta say. It makes sense. Everything they're doing makes no sense.
It makes sense for their business model.
No, for their money.
Not that's right.
And then that's the
Not
bottom
for
line.
the
Money rules
positions
this
that they
world.
hold in the communities.
Money rules this world, and it always will.
It may, I mean, money's the root of all evil, but
Yeah.
also,
Well, and it's
also,
proven every day.
yep. But also,
So by no means, I think at some point in hopefully your lifetime, This will change.
In your
I
lifetime.
no, it
Thank
won't.
you.
It won't.
It will.
It
I've got my
won't.
plan. I've got my plan from your
The only
last
way
week's
it's gonna,
meeting.
Katie, the only way it's gonna make it in my lifetime is, and I've told you, I'll tell everybody, you got a year. If you can't do it, if you can't put me, if we can't, and it's not like I know you try, but if we can't figure out something that gives me more than, that gives me a chance to be happy for just to be happy without having to have ketamine do it, then no, it's not going to happen in my lifetime.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think that's a very reasonable goal. I mean, we're now seeing that people can, go into remission of their symptoms with mental health, which people didn't know that could happen.
Yeah,
And we're
I think that's
learning
amazing. But it's
so
an
much right
illness.
now.
Most
That's
almost
right.
every illness you
And be
can
healed.
put it in
That's right.
remit. Yes,
That's right.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Why am I that one dumbass that can't, that has to be the stubborn one? I'm not, I would take, if I truly only had to do 2 boosters a year to where I got to where I'm going, I need to save up money. It's coming. That'd be that'd be huge compared to what it is now. At 3 months, I feel it, and like I told you, I make myself miserable trying to stretch it out so that I can fool myself into thinking it's getting better. It's
Yeah, I think
not.
that's a really good insight though too.
Yeah, I'm very truthful with myself.
Well, you're
I
learning
can't
how
take
to
my
be
own
truthful to
advice,
yourself.
huh?
You're learning how to be truthful with
Yeah,
yourself
but I
because
can't.
forever you pushed it. It's fine. You're
Sure,
good. Go.
sure, but I'm also a person. I'm very competitive. I can't be satisfied with baby steps.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. You
No.
can't. You have to be competitive in order to survive this world, and I'm losing that competitive edge.
Yeah, you're just
It's
tired right
easier
now.
to give up, is it not?
It is easier to get about, but it's also when you learn how to
But
breathe and you know that this is
I'm
bigger than you. It's bigger than all your complaints. It's bigger than all
absolutely.
the garbage that you feel and when you feel like you can't get out of
Mhm.
your room. This is bigger than you.
Yeah, but you know, the one thing I know 100% sure every day I wake up, I'm a peon and I do not matter to those people.
Nope.
And that's not going to change.
You're part of a
So
mission that's
I'm going to
bigger
wrap
than
this
you.
up. I'm going to wrap this up with my little final saying you let me have. I'm going to say,
Thank you.
above all, I need everybody to understand it will change. It has to. It's not got a choice. Do not take my negativity towards my situation make you not not believe that it's going to change because it will. I just don't see it changing for me quick enough, but I do see it changing. So
Pretty
and
positive there, right there.
I will honestly I will starve to save the money to get a treatment, and I'll do at it for as long as I can do it. But I'm just not going to lie and say I can do it forever.
Yeah. Well, and I
And
think given a reasonable
I'm
time
also
period of a year,
you
March
also you
2026.
can't say that you haven't given me so much, and but you can't say that I haven't felt guilty about taking it.
Well, I've given
I've
you, and you've
appreciated
also given
everything.
back. And that's a big thing, Dave.
I
Everything that you
but
do is helping me with
I
all of
shouldn't
this
be
garbage.
rewarded. I shouldn't be rewarded for talking about that. This should be automatic.
Everybody should be talking about it, but a lot of people can't, Dave. It's too hard to talk about.
I know, and that's just it, Katie. You won't let me not. Let's be honest.
It's true.
I mean, but in all honesty, even the darkest day of talking about it, there's still positive out of it. It's not getting stored back there. It's coming out.
Right. And the more that it comes out, the more you're able to have greater descriptors to it to where you can understand
Well,
it. And
that's why I said I like the workman's comp thing we talked. I I wouldn't. I had no idea that they was going to hit me like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that I knew would hit me that way, we have talked it. I have come to where I can talk about it. It may take me down some, but it doesn't pitfall me. Last week, it what process was already starting, it took it and ramped it up and took it down. And that scares me because I really thought we had tackled, not gotten better, but tackled
well,
most of the hard hitters.
I think realizing anything that could make you vulnerable, like take you back to a place that was maybe there were emotions involved, you never know which way it's going to take you. You just have to be ready to
Man,
go.
I never thought that. I guess I did what I did forever. I just filed it back there
Absolutely.
as
Because we've
far as
never
I
talked about it. For
could.
as long as I've known you, we've never talked about that
Yeah,
until
yeah,
last week.
yeah. Um, yeah. Bravo for you for sneaking that in. But
Stick attack.
I got to give credit where credit's due. There, I'll give you that credit.
Thank you.
And I always thank you. I, I know I bitch and I sound negative, but these help me heal to doing these. You
Well,
know,
and what I think helps not only you, but people who are around who are struggling with symptoms like you're showing them it's normal. It's common when you're going through
and you
anxiety,
had to teach me that.
PTSD. Yeah, it's
But
common. You're not
yeah,
alone.
you had to teach me that
Mm.
because nobody shows it. Nobody talks about um not making it till tomorrow. You know, and it's like, and if you try to, most people they don't want to hear it. They don't want to
Well,
hear
it
that
scares them,
reality.
right? It scares them and they
Yeah,
shut
yeah,
down.
rightfully so. But it goes back to we gotta quit worrying about shocking people's conscience and be willing to let that voice be heard and and you don't have to feel my pain. You don't even have to understand a lot of it, but just realize it is real.
That's
It
right.
is real. It is
Well, but we don't know how to
it, to me,
comfort
it
each
is a
other either.
disease. It's a disease that can go into remission. It's a disease that can be treated. It's a disease you can heal completely from.
Yes, it is.
It is. I acknowledge that.
Thank you.
I just need someone to explain why I'm that dumbass that can't get that.
You're going to get
That
there. You're going to
mm,
get there. And we're going to
mm.
change the rules and we're going to say that this is real and all this discrimination that's existing that nobody's aware of.
Well, you better run for president.
Well, I just might.
Yeah, I think that's our best shot. I got $5 I can put towards the donation.
Campaign
Yeah, yeah,
done. Coming
yeah.
in. Female president, get out of my way. Let's go.
I need you to tell everybody
I'm
that I was trying
41,
to.
about the
Hey,
age.
I need you to tell everybody that I was trying to do this where we were sitting beside each other like we have some, and you didn't want you typical. Well, and I feel privileged that you even get an opportunity to text me back within 48 hours. Um, uh, but we will do that before too long. We'll sit side by
Same
side.
space. Dave and Katie right beside. Yep.
Yeah,
Done.
yeah.
Sign you
Hey,
up. Thank you.
thank you for fighting.
Thank you for
Uh,
fighting.
I'm, 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 I mean,
Thank you
I
for
do.
thank you for walking this trail of lonely and crazy with me
I don't
there.
have a choice with you.
She's going by herself.
I,
All right, fine. I guess I'll go with her.
I don't have a choice. You took a chance on me. I got to stick with you. I got to back you.
I'm going to sing that song to you. Take a chance on me. I'm going to send it to you, actually.
No, I know that song. Listen, if you look, ain't nobody in America besides me loves my Spotify list. Okay, so like that song, I'm telling you, I know the song. Um, good Lord, you ought to hear. I remind me when I see you next time to show you my playlist. You'll just be like, oh God.
You never know. I might love it.
You'd like some songs, but there's just some you're gonna be like, was that a song? And be like, yeah. I'm a 80s I'm an 80s kid through and through. Like there was no better music than the late 70s, early 80s.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it, you knucklehead. Hey, we gotta stick to this 30 minutes. We have sucked at doing 30 minutes.
What?
We suck at just keeping these to 30 minutes. And
No,
and
we got to
that's not
sign
even
off until episode 15.
hey, wait a minute. That's not even the 30 minutes beforehand that you and I argue about. You didn't send me an invite and everything else.
You're right. It's been 2.5 hours.
Somebody's getting a bill. Who we sending a bill to? Tell them what you're doing tomorrow.
Dogs are
Working.
even singing. What?
Tell them what you're doing tomorrow. Working.
Yeah,
Right? What are you doing Saturday? Working.
some.
What are you doing Sunday?
Taking the dogs to dog park
And what else?
and getting some things done.
What kind of things?
Working things.
Exactly.
Dave,
That's
it's
all.
7 days a week. We got crap to do, my friend. Crap to do. I do.
Yeah,
I will like watch a movie or sometime. Something like that.
I don't believe you.
I do.
I've started believing you a little more on when you tell me you actually took time to do this or that and not work. But overall, it's still like 92 to 8%.
Yeah, I work quite a lot. All right. I'm gonna go feed
No,
these beasts.
I can't believe you said that. Like you work quite a lot. What?
Quite a lot.
And what? You don't make $1 million a year that's in your bank account for your pleasure? What?
What?
Jeez.
Crazy.
And it. I mean, let's be honest. I very seldom do I ever see you where I'm not talking about your shirt or something because I'm going, okay, where did this like? Because I don't have taste, but like that big turtleneck you had on, like that. What?
Oh,
I mean, for everybody else, they're probably going. She paid $400 for that shirt.
I've had that shirt since high school.
I know that's what I'm saying. Literally,
It's a good shirt.
uh, I don't know who's worse on clothes, me or you. Like 90% of the stuff I wear is Revivalist shirts that you got me,
No.
and I beg for a hat when I stink up the one you gave me before up, and um, I finally when I got this job in the corporate world, I told Sheree, I said, I guess I'm gonna have to get some shirts that don't like, and I always I either have my hat or a Vital shirt every trip, but like I had Captain American shirt, a Hulk shirt, Spider Man shirt, and my Revival shirts, and that was my dress. Well, my job I got now,
That
not
looks
get some.
fancy.
Well, I
This is
can't,
me.
I can't look like a superhero. You almost look like Eminem for a second there. Bust a rap.
This is when I go boxing.
Send us off with a rap from Eminem. Can't do it, can you? Thank you.
Okay. Have a good night.
Hey, let me know about Saturday.
I will.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye bye, Katie.
Bye bye.